Welcome everybody to AP Games and this game review of Carried Away. First of all, I want to say thanks to Huge Calf Studios for the game key. I've really enjoyed my time playing a little bit of Carried Away. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the game review. As always, I'm going to do a brief description of the game, give an overview of the challenges that are involved, the gameplay as well, before giving my official numerical review there at the end, so be sure to stick around for that. So, what is Carried Away? Carried Away is a casual indie puzzle game where you must create ski lifts, pole lifts, gondola lifts, and more for skiers, snowboarders, not mountain bikers, sorry, for snowmobilers. That's what I was trying to say. Anyways, there's also a bunch of levels for building bridges, jumps, and you're even able to control the skiers and snowmobilers if you want to mix it up and have some fun that way. But anyways, the whole point of the game is to create gondola lifts and ski lifts for these skiers so that they get up over these obstacles, up on top of the mountain, and can enjoy themselves there skiing and engaging in some winter sports. So this is an early access game with new features being added all the time. This is not a full game review because, again, they're continually adding new features. They've actually added more features as I was playing the game. Which was really cool. So very active in making updates, so there's always new information, new challenges to try. In addition to just the normal campaign mode that you're able to do, there is a level creator included with Carried Away, so you can build your own challenges, which gives additional fun, gives additional replayability. It allows you to share them with other people, so that makes it even more interesting that you can try custom maps that you've created and that others have created as well. The challenges. Each and every level of Carried Away has its own challenge. Sometimes it's the materials that you're able to use. You're not able to use ropes, or you're not able to use a certain type of log or something like that. Sometimes it's the budget you have. You can use anything that you want, but you have a very constrained budget that you're able to use in order to create this ski lift. Other times you have to make sure the skiers or the snowmobile get the star that's on the map. Getting more stars earns you more achievements, that sort of thing. So each and every level has its own challenge built in. Each level presents you with the chance to, bring your building skills and create something new and different to get these skiers up the mountain safe and sound. A lot of levels have certain themes that go along with them, so they try and force you to build in a certain way, or they try to force you to use certain materials, kind of to expand your knowledge and to experiment and have some fun that way. Again, adding to the challenge, because you can never build a single solid structure the same way. With the way that they've designed the levels and designed the challenges. Again, it allows you to be creative, it allows you to have fun, it allows you to just mix up your designs a little bit as well. As far as the challenges, yes, you can intentionally design bad buildings in order to kill the skiers, make them crash and have horrible head trauma. Yes, you can do that. I will admit, I did it. It's a lot of fun, actually. It's a little the morbid Schadenfreude, right? The pleasure that you get from other people's pain. Thankfully, in this instance, though, they're not real, so it's less bad. Anyways, off of my Schadenfreude. The gameplay. So there are two phases in the gameplay. There is the build phase and the test phase. Build phase, as the name implies, is where you can build your constructed item, you can refine it, you can tweak it and tinker with it to your heart's content. You can try out all different sorts of stuff. There's no time limit, so you can goof off all you like. You can try crazy contraptions, off the wall kind of stuff, and build it, scrap it, rebuild it here in the build phase. Test phase is when you actually take the riders, take the skiers through the lift, through the pole lift, through the gondolas, whatever, and you actually test out the constructed chairlifts to try and get these skiers up the mountain. You can reset to your test phase. You can reset the test phase anytime you want. You can switch back to the build phase anytime you want as well. If you try something out in build phase, you switch to the test phase, and you see immediately that there's a problem, you can switch right back, try and tweak it, try and fix it, and make it right. Building is simple and intuitive, and the tools you're given are just enough to allow for creativity and experimentation, but they're not so overwhelming where it just gets bogged down. You've got just a set number of materials, different types of materials that you can use. Again, they're varied enough where it gives you the flexibility to try out new and creative ideas, but they're not so crazy that you wonder which of the 20 items you're supposed to be using each level. So it's just right. It's that Goldilocks stuff right in the middle, right? So it's not too little, not too much. It's just right. Again, testing is fun because you can not only test out what you've built, but you can actually control the skiers, the snowmobilers, as they're going up and down the mountain. Have some fun with them as well. There are actually certain levels that are designed specifically for using the skiers and using the snowmobilers to try and mix it up a little bit there as well. So you're not always building and testing. Some levels you are building and then you have to manually pilot the snowmobiler up the jump or something like that. So again, it adds a little bit more variety into the gameplay. It adds a new challenge, and it makes it fun. The best part of testing is simply when your construction fails miserably. You build something, it looks great, you think you take everything into account, you hit test, it goes, and you see that you didn't take something into account, and and it fails miserably, and you have to send a couple skiers to the hospital. Let me rephrase that. You have to send a few non-real computer-generated pixels that look like skiers to the hospital, the pixel hospital. Anyways, so that's the gameplay. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. My review, my score, so just an overview of how I review games. Basically, I try and review games as if I were talking to a friend. If you guys, you guys are you're my online friends, and would I recommend it to a friend is kind of the overarching theme of these reviews. So a score of 1, this is a game I would tell you, do not ever touch this game. It is absolutely horrid. It's terrible. It's buggy. It's abandonware, something like that. A 5 is, this is one of the greatest games that you'll ever see in your life. You need to own it because it's a part of it's going to be a classic. And a 3 is somewhere in the middle, where this game's pretty decent. If you buy it, you're not going to regret it. It's fun. It might not be the best game ever, but you'll get your money's worth out of it. So with that, Carried Away, where do I score it? I score it at a 4, actually. A 4, and I think it'll only get better. Again, it'll only get better, 1, because it's an early access game, and they're still improving it. They're still refining it. They're still updating it. And it'll only get better as they add new features, as they add new levels, and as the community that's in Carried Away creates new levels and creates new user-generated levels for you to test out, for you to try and you to have fun with. Again, it only gets better as they add new level editor stuff in there as well. So a score of 4 with a massive potential for improving and upping the score alongside of that. Carried Away is basically what an early access indie game should be. It's fun, it's simple, it's easy to get into, it doesn't cost a lot of money, and it's a lot of fun to build, test, and experiment in. If you've ever played like Bridge Builder or World of Goo or any of those games where it's like these tinkering games, these building games, this is right up your alley. This is the type of game that you're looking for. As of the recording of this review, there are just over 70 levels available through the main campaign. And again, there are more features, more levels being added every day, and there are more levels being created by users as they create them. So again, the amount of time that you're going to be able to spend playing this game as compared to the amount of money that you're spending for it is actually a very high value ratio, which is one of the reasons why I give this game such a good score. It's as of right now, the cost is only like $9 or $10 on Steam. American, United States dollars. And the amount of time that you can spend playing this game is pretty high, actually, pretty high. Again, the music, the animations, the atmosphere, they're all fun, they're all catchy, they are just perfectly right for the game itself. So, if you think that you want to get it now while it's pretty cheap, while it's in early access on Steam, get your value out of it. It's a really fun game. So again, for Carried Away, out of 5, I give this score a 4 because it's fun, it's simple, it's quick, it's clean, the animations are right, the atmosphere is fun and catchy. Man, the music is impeccable. It's absolutely great. And again, you can have a lot of fun with user-generated content, creating your own, experimenting with what other people have created, and you can always toy around with it so that you can scrap what you've created, build something new, and test it out on these little unfortunate test subject skiers that you might be sending to their doom. So again, Carried Away, a lot of fun. I highly encourage you guys to check it out. There will be a link in the description to Steam if you want to take a look at it, and hopefully you enjoyed yourself here on the review. So with that, be sure to look out for some of the other reviews that I've got here on the channel. Check out some of the other videos as well. I do plenty of Let's Plays, and hopefully you guys enjoyed yourself enough to hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions about Carried Away, and you'll probably see some more Carried Away footage on my channel at some time in the future. An excellent game that I think that you guys wouldn't be sorry for picking up. So thanks again, and we'll see you again soon here on AP Games.